Hey boys, what's going on? iJustRengar here, and today I'm coming back at you with another video. This is going to be a Rengar tips and tricks video. Quite a few tips that I want to show you guys, and the first one is actually going to be what to do when you are warding. So, as a jungler, you want to have this bush warded, but what time do you ward it in order to get back? So, very first thing is going to be very simple. At 102, I'm going to place the ward right there, and then I'm going to head down to this part of the red buff bush. You can actually go a little bit later than 102, but I like to do 102 and just let your bot lane know that you are in fact starting right here. Now, I'm really quickly going to refresh cooldowns to get those back, just to show you something else that comes up. So, right here you can see I get to here. I'm going to press Q, leap on this at 123. That's the next tip. So the next tip is going to be to leap to the blast cone to gain extra ferocity, and then watch this. See, when I leap, I Q right after. So what that's going to do is be an auto attack reset. So notice how, like, I'm just auto attacking, auto attack Q, auto attack Q, and that makes it go a lot faster. Now, another quick tip is if you can get your bot lane to go down this way, it'll give you vision of these as they spawn, and you can leap to them. Now, that's really, really useful, and the reason that I personally really like it is just because then you don't have to use a ward because you used your ward up here, and then you don't have to walk around. Now, here's another important thing to note. So, when you're doing your golems, and I'll really quickly just do these, that way you guys can see that I don't skip Golems Day. By the end of Golems, if you do the correct clear, after being leashed, you will have 4 ferocity. What I like to do is come up this way, conserving the ferocity, empowered Q, leap, auto attack, regular Q, W, and then auto attack that one. Notice how an empowered Q, as well as a regular Q, is enough to kill these little ones if you wait a second. Now, the reason why that's important, right, is because if you wait a second in between the Q and the Q, it only requires 2 attacks, whereas otherwise you would need even more. You can actually E that as well to conserve ferocity. Hit that, and then you'll have 4 ferocity when you get here, by the way. I should have done that. I don't know why I didn't show you. Alrighty, guys, so the next tip is going to be me showing you different jukes that you can do as Rengar, and a little bit of ways that you can use the champion and kind of get a little bit of an advantage over other people. So, the first one we're going to talk about is just really quickly, let's say you're in this bush right here and you're ganking. You're able to sneak into this from here. All you want to do is, like, if the enemy champion is right there, you can QWE and then empowered E right there. And so that basically gets you from here all the way to here, and then you have a snare after that if your laner has enough damage. Now, let's talk a little bit about jukes, because juking is really, really important as Rengar. You have flash, but you can only use it every so often. So, for example, let's say you're invading the red buff and you start to get caught. You can't really do anything, so you ward over and then you leap. That's a really quick way to get an escape off and then potentially run to your winning top laner. If he's winning, or, I mean, it might not get you out, but the thing is, it saves you some time, and it wastes a little bit of the enemy's time. Now, there's a lot of things you can do with that. You can actually even leap from here. Okay, if that's not reset, you can leap from here all the way to that. I'll show you in just a second. If you're right here, and you ward over, you can leap just like that to that right there. From here, you can obviously leap from here to there. Every so often, you can actually leap all the way from this bush right here down to the red golem. You have to walk down towards the edge, though. Other things are obviously jumping over towards this. These are a little bit more difficult, especially considering that I don't have boots, but I'll try them anyways. Going from here to here. And also, I'm not actually sure if you can still do this one. I think you can. I believe if you have boots, you can still do this. Oh, you don't even need boots. So those 2 jumps are also possible, and they're both really, really, really good. Another one that you can also do is from here to here. Again, really, really useful for getting away. Or if, like, the enemy jungler is, like, right over here, or somebody on the enemy team is backing, you can be in this bush, move over, and then click over to there. Now, the way that you do it is when you're going out of the bush, you right-click, and then you right-click there. Because if you right-click right on here, it's going to make you walk up this way. The game does not know how Rengar paths, so you have to manually input that command, and then input the second command. Now, it's actually possible to do this, to go to the Baron. Hello. But the problem is it's very, very difficult. As you can see, it's really, really far. You need to be full build or at least have boots, and preferably a Youmuu's. And you don't actually have to activate Youmuu's, but it does kind of help. And I would recommend, if you do want to start learning this, definitely start practicing now, because it can help you out a lot. If you get confident to the point where you can do it almost every time, it's really, really, really strong, because then it means that you don't need your ulti to steal the Baron, which is... I mean, obviously your ulti helps quite a bit, but if you don't need your ulti to steal the Baron, that means you can, like, flash ulti out and then go catch somebody else. If you get really confident with it, it can help you out a ton. So those are all the leaps that you can do. Now, from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to really quickly show you a jungle route that gets you level 3 and enables you to kind of counter jungle bot lane pretty easily. What I like to do is, if I'm on, so this side of the map, right? If I'm on this side of the map, I generally will try to do the normal clear. So you take the red, you take golems. I'm just going to kind of walk you through it. You take the chickens. That gets you level 3. From there, you move down to here. You E this to save ferocity from here and here. Then you're at 4. You hit this. And then you run over this way, right? Now, at this point, you've gotten a Scuttle Crab, potentially, and you've also gotten level 3. Now, the important thing from here, even if you don't get the Scuttle Crab, it's fine. You walk over this way. At this point, most of these wards will be gone, right? Especially after you take this. You come over this way. If this is not here, you ward over. You go to these golems, and you can either kill these golems, or you can just leave them and use them for the free 2 ferocity, because if you leap over... that's 2 ferocity. And then from there, you can head over. You can even get like another Q off if you can. You can head over behind bot lane if you're on this side. And boom, that is one of the most incredible ganks. And if you pull it off correctly, is almost guaranteed to get you a kill. Now, something that I just actually noticed that I really didn't think was like too big of a tip, but it actually might be for some of you. Actually, let me get a 3 ferocity instead. So, if you have 3 ferocity, right, watch how my timer is about to run out, but watch what I do here. So, let's say I E. Oh, so, right now you can see that my my timer is about to run out. So, watch this. So, let's say I'm not in range of the dragon. I E. Notice how it sticks out the 4 ferocity. You can use your E to actually extend the timing of Unseen Predator, and that'll actually help you out quite a bit. So, on to the next topic is just going to be a very quick guide on the Rengar one-shot combo. I'm only going to talk about this one singular thing. All I'm going to do is say, let's get Tiamat actually, because most of your combos will be done with Tiamat. All I'm going to do is say, you just have to leap, QE3WQ, and that's it. QE3WQ. Or QEW3Q. Like, realistically, I made an entire video about it. I'll have a story, leave the link down below. So if you guys do want to go check that out, please do. And from here on out, we're going to be talking about top lane tips. So, for top lane, important things to note are the minion drags. So, if I reset this game really quickly, if you're going top lane, you can either go longsword or you can go for the Doran's Blade. Now the minions are almost here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up towards them. And you can actually leap and Q them if you'd like, and then bring them up towards this bush. Now, here's the reason this is important. For one, it makes the minion wave different from what it would normally be, but for 2, if the enemy is ranged, if they go for any of these minions, I will 100% be able to fight them. And if they chase me into this bush, which level 1, Rengar is insanely strong and can beat almost any champion, if they chase me into this bush, and I have the 2 ferocity beforehand from leaping onto their minion wave, that means that I will have 2 ferocity here. By the time I start fighting them, I'll have my Q up again, so that'll mean 3 ferocity. If I get the 6 seconds required to get to 4 ferocity, I will win every single 1v1 at level 1. I don't think there's a single champion that can beat Rengar level 1 if he has 4 ferocity, and they're both around the same HP. And the reason why is because you basically have 2 abilities. If you get to the point where you're level 2 and they're still level 1 and you have 4 ferocity, it's like you have 3 abilities, which is why it's so strong to be playing Rengar and have that. Now, another important part about Rengar top lane is to really use your W correctly. I'm not going to go into who's the better Rengar, but I believe that Dekar is probably the better top Rengar, and the reason why is just because he plays it way more. So, with Dekar, if you watch Dekar's gameplay, right, he uses W quite a bit, and he uses it to great effect. And the reason why is also kind of because of his rune page, but we'll talk about that in a second. So when you're doing jungle Rengar, what you really want to do is make sure that you're using your W as much as you can, because your W is definitely going to be a huge help to you, and it's going to help you win those trades. If you leap onto an enemy and you like use your W, like let's say if I leap on and I QE and then he auto attacks me and I WW, I'm 100% going to be at the same exact HP unless he has Ignite. Now, why is that important? That's important because if he does that, or if I do that to him, what ends up happening is, and I'm just going to really quickly refresh cooldowns to get a ward in all of these bushes so I can show you something. If you do that, you literally will do 100% free damage. Let's say I got 200 damage off, he would have gotten nothing off. Now, be careful, because some champions can pull you back in, like a Darius with an Apprehend, or like other champions that can kind of hard engage with you from there. So make sure that you're being a little bit kind of like coy about it. But I just want to let you guys know that in case you didn't know, because it can help you out quite a bit. So I'm going to spawn a couple enemy dummies here, and the reason why is to show you exactly what Rengar in bushes can do. So, again, your Q is an auto-attack reset, so for example, you can leap from here to here pretty much instantaneously because you're using your Q. And I can actually show you like a pretty cool example of that. So, like, let's say you're standing here, you leap to the... hello? Come on. You leap to this, leap to this, leap to this. Like, all in one. Even though my attack speed really isn't that high, see, I hit that. I hit that. I hit that. I mean, actually, wait, let me move him a little closer. So, let's say this dummy's right here. Enemy target dummy right there. Enemy target dummy right there. If you watch all of this, all you have to do is... Let me build my ferocity really quickly first. So, all I need to do from here, if you watch this, is just use my Q as an auto-attack reset. So I leap, Q, Q, and I'm able to instantly leap between, whereas otherwise it would look like this. Which is still pretty fast. That's because I have my empowered Q on. Oh, yikes. Yikers, boys. Here in a second. Good lord, this is so scuffed. Alright, so, this is what it looked like otherwise. Ready? So, leap, leap, leap. See how it's very much delayed? Whereas, if you look at the alternative, it looks like this. Ready? Leap, Q, Q. Just like that, you're able to almost instantaneously do that. Now, that's pretty much all my tips for top lane. The only other thing that I'd like to say is there's a bunch of diversity for top lane. For top lane, if you want to learn top lane Rengar, I have a couple videos. Since I am going to be gone, though, I'd recommend checking out Dekar, which I believe is Dekar173 on Twitch. For jungle Rengar, or for top Rengar, and if you want to learn jungle Rengar, I would recommend ScrubNoob, which is twitch.tv/